Thank you to the ECHO team for always opening up their place for us. Thank you to the Hatward Police Department for keeping these streets safe. Thank you to the Chamber for just continuing to make this community thrive and coming together this morning. I want to just give a brief update of what's going on in Washington. I spoke with the government affairs team this morning. And right now, if you look at the news, you'll see that the stock market is doing pretty well. Unemployment is pretty low. That GDP is starting to grow, and those are all good indicators. But I always think about, my mom, who still works today, our family, our friends, people that I talk to in our town halls, and I want to know, hey, if a $500 emergency, your tire goes out, you have to go to the emergency room, your washing machine no longer works. What happens to your family if you're hit with something like that? Does it wipe you out, or can you sustain it? And 3 out of 4 people today in our community would say it would wipe them out. They'd have to either put it on a credit card, or they don't have enough of their savings to handle it. And so what I hope we can continue to do here in Hatward is to just create more jobs by seeing businesses grow, new businesses go into places where they haven't gone before. And I know that the Hatward City Council, led by Mayor Halliday and Al Mandal and others who are here, share that concern. Because if that stock market going up doesn't really mean a damn thing to most people, then we're still not doing our job or meeting our responsibility to make sure that this community grows and that people do better. My goal simply is to be a part of leaders who allow people to be more, make more, and dream more. My dad always told me when I was a kid, he was a cop, he'd pull the police car into the driveway, and I'd say, Dad, I want to be a cop just like you. And he said, that's great. You can do that. But the first thing you're going to do is go to college. No one in the family has ever done that before. That's my dream for you. I busted my butt for you to have that opportunity. And I think in our DNA is this idea that we want our kids to be able to do better than we do. That's just at the root of our identity. And so what I hope we can do together as a community is give kids the skills they need to be more. So that means modern schools in every community. My parents moved us to 11 different homes. I went to 9 different schools because they thought that if they could rent a house in a better community with better schools, that gave me a better shot. It shouldn't be that way. A Hatward school should prepare a kid just as much as a Danville school. A San Lorenzo school should give a kid a shot of going into this new economy just as much as a Pleasanton school. I also think our community colleges have to become open community colleges. I told you about my mom. She works so hard as an administrative assistant, but I'm worried every day that she's going to be replaced by a digital assistant. I don't know if you've heard of this, but you actually can use a computer to schedule your emails, set up your calendar, and it actually sends out a request as if it's a real person. And people every day are losing their jobs to automation. And people still want to have that dignity of work and ability to provide. And so I think about people like my mom, and do we have a society where she can go to a community college and get relevant skills so she can keep working for 5, 10 more years? Having open community colleges. And then finally, I want to see every distressed area of our community have economic opportunity. I saw this when I was on the city council in Dublin, when we made investments and took a city that I was teased as being a part of Scrubland when I was a kid. So now we have major Fortune 500 companies all around us. We have a BART that goes out to Dublin Pleasanton and hopefully even farther. And the schools are graduating 2 times as many kids who go off to college as when I graduated there in 1999. I know that when we invest in our kids and when we give our businesses incentives to go places, that's how growth is created. I wrote the Main Street Revival Act 4 years ago, and many of us stood just down a block away when I introduced it. It says that if you go into an area that has high unemployment and high vacancy rates, you can defer your taxes for the first 3 years. We want you to have as much cash on hand so that you can create jobs and grow your business. It's gone nowhere in a Republican-controlled Congress. I've tried, it's gone nowhere. But I found a Republican who put his name on it with me. And every year it's been the Swalwell-Collins bill. He was a small business owner from New York, Congressman Collins. And this year, I told him, I said, Chris, you're really close with President Trump. You're the first person to endorse the guy in Congress. It's a Republican-controlled House and Senate. Why don't we call it the Collins-Swalwell bill? He was really eager to do that. So now this legislation, which would help our businesses grow, I don't care whose name is the lead, has its best chance as Congress takes on tax reform. So I'm going to continue to work with Republicans or Democrats. I've got a lot of them in my family, so I know how to do that a little bit. But the goal for me is to just see building and growth. When you have building and growth, everyone does better. If the pie's bigger, people are less worried about what size their slice is going to be. I found that people are just a little less hateful, they're a little less bigoted, they're a little less fearful if everyone is doing well, if you can extend opportunity to everyone. So that's what I'm working on doing. I can only do it with the help of the Chamber, with the help of our leaders on the City Council and our mayor, and we can only do it if our streets are safe. When people are free from crime, they're free to dream. When they're free to work, they're free to dream. When they're free from going broke because they got sick, they're free to dream. And working on that freedom to dream is very important to me, and I know it's in our DNA for you and your families. So thank you all again for having me. Sid, thank you for always being such a good host when we come in. And please.